and you needed to remove yourself and place yourself into that stream, that fresh water stream. Sorry, I know I'm talking in riddles. And you're making slow, steady steps now towards more healthy choices, because you've realized the lesson here, and that you were being distracted by 3D things, materialistic things. And because of this realization that you've made, there's now exciting possibilities coming towards you, multiple possibilities coming towards you, because you're moving towards that dream. And you, with the Devil on the bottom of the deck, and you've stepped away from repeating the cycles. So this cycle that you were repeating through this scenario, you haven't done that. So you've walked away, I believe. Let's get some details on the connection so that you know if this is for you. I believe that you've walked away from the connection this time, or it's where it's been forced apart and you've been forced to behave differently. You can now see how things look if you do that. It's shifted your perspective. Okay, tell me about this connection. Tell me about this connection that's around my collective's energy, please. It's connected into a spiritual journey. Okay, so mentally, this did cause a lot of stress for you. It did cause a lot of tension. But then immediately, emotionally, you've gone into healing. So you've gone into an energy of releasing, purifying. I said that before as well with this frog card. You're in an energy of true purification. Cleansing. So within this connection, this person would have been potentially acting very hot and cold towards you. You've potentially as well been treated like an option here, because it seems that they had multiple choices, but there were things that were being hidden from you. There were things, secrets, things that were being hidden from you. This is a divine connection. So this scenario was being heavily controlled by the divine, I'm being told, because you needed to learn these lessons. So this person is showing as your divine masculine. But it left you in a bit of a heart fog. And that's to be expected, because that's why this was a lesson for you. There were things here that you needed to learn that you couldn't see before. But I think it probably left you quite confused. That's interesting. So even though you've gone straight into an energy of healing, the realizations, you have realized stuff through this connection. Where you've gone straight into the energy of healing, there is still a small part of you that has this hopeful energy. I think there is maybe a small part of you that is hopeful that you might potentially reconnect with this person. I think it was very painful for you, like I said, what happened here. But it's triggered this. It's triggered huge realizations for you, epiphanies with the cycles, because you needed to close out the cycles. So it's difficult because these sorts of connections where you've got a divine connection with somebody, potentially a twin flame connection, something like that, they feel so intense. It feels like there's such a deep connection there that when it breaks apart, it does quite literally leave you feeling absolutely shattered, broken. But oh my God, the benefits of it are so huge that if you can shift your perspective to see it in this sort of way, it can be so powerful, a divine connection. It can propel you forward so much. But obviously it is a painful thing to go through. And it does leave you with this sort of longing, because you can feel, literally, as I said, it does leave you with this kind of longing because you can feel the connection. It's confusing. It's overwhelming. That's this craving, aching, wanting, this longing. Literally, as I said that. But you have been able to shift your perspective to be able to look at this from a different lens. So I think even where there's this slight ache in your heart, there's this slight longing, you're able to re-center yourself, refocus yourself because of these realizations that you've come across, because of the things that have come up for you and how it's shifted your perspective. You've managed to clear your headspace from this heart fog. So I don't think you're sat in that anymore. And you might feel slight twinges every so often, but I think it's minimal at this point. Okay, but the other person is building up resistance in this situation. So you may be feeling that. That's interesting. So you may be feeling that. This is secret admirer as well. That makes me think whether they're like spying. That's interesting. Hang on, let me clarify that. Clarify the resistance, please. I think they're spying. They're thinking about the connection as well. They can feel the energetic cord, I think, between the two of you. They're really reminiscing about the chemistry. Okay, they're wanting to come in with some kind of apology. I think they're really reminiscing, which is building up resistance in the energy, because they're wanting some kind of reconciliation. Oh, that's too many. What I'm hearing now is time is a healer. Is that for them or the collective? Okay. I mean, they're building up resistance for you because you're connected to their energy. So you're potentially feeling their energy and thinking the resistance is coming from you. This hoping sat in the middle of this perspective and healing here makes me wonder whether, because this is sat in the emotional, energetic space for me, you might be picking this up from them. And it's pushing you into a slight energy of feeling hopeful about the connection, which is causing resistance. You are very focused on yourself at the moment. You're very focused on nourishing your energy. And now I'm seeing that hummingbird card. So about refilling your nectar, you're being spiritually resourceful. You're focusing on yourself. I think you're doing a lot of cleansing, a lot of shielding, things like that. You need to stay in this energy because they are tugging on your energy, I believe, where they're sat in this energy of wanting to come forward with an apology. Let's read their energy because that's your energy, but there's externals come through so we can see how that's impacting. But let's see what's coming through their actual energy. I think that's the twin flame. Oh yeah, twin flames. I think they're sat in a very different energy to you. Okay, what is the energy that the masculine that's connected to this collective is saying, please? Telling me to cleanse these cards. Hang on. We've got a confession there. So that, hang on. Oh my God, did you hear that? I've just broken something. Look, shattered. That's what that card said. That's... that... where I've gone to cleanse this deck, that, I mean, I'm covered in broken glass now. That coming out, that happening with this confession coming out, and I said, oh, I need to cleanse this, and that has smashed, and I'm now sat in broken glass. That's alarming. Hang on, let me clear up the glass. Okay, that was a warning, and that is alarming to me. So that there's some kind of confession that's coming towards you, and I do not believe this is going to be good. That was interesting. Right, tell me about this masculine's energy. I don't even know what to make of that. I don't think that is good, that the second I've connected to their energy, a confession card's come flying out, and then that has come smashing down. And broken. Okay, so mentally they're thinking about this confession. They know that there's something they need to come clean about. This is potentially, I mean, where this was such a brief connection, this is potentially about the breakdown of that connection, of why they left. But emotionally, they're sat in a lot of pain. They're very apprehensive, they're afraid, they're cautious. I think they know that mistakes have been made here. They don't know how to approach. But the energy that is surrounding their energy is concerning to me now. It makes me wonder whether they've got negative energies potentially attached to them. I can feel an energy here now. There's an energy that's here that feels stuck in their body. This is taking a bit of a turn. So they have abandonment wounds, okay? So they're somebody that suffers from abandonment wounds. They have rejection wounds. And because of that, they're somebody that runs, they escape, they avoid. But they're sat in an energy at the moment where they're so overwhelmed. They're reaching their breaking point. They feel completely empty, completely hollow by this scenario. Okay, there's a third party energy here there's the twin flames. There's a third party energy here that's interfering. Oh God, they may have even done some energetic work to keep this person from you. This is interesting. And you have they know the connection that you have between the two of you. They're seeing you as twin flame, soulmate. They are aware of the depth of the connection between the two of you. Which is potentially why they're sat in so much pain, but then it doesn't. But they're, okay, so you will not be able to see this though. You will not be aware of how overwhelmed they are. Because they're wearing a mask, they're pretending that they're fine. So I don't know whether you're in any contact with this person, whether you see them, but they're pretending that they're completely fine when they are sat in very heavy emotional energy. But that thing smashing down and breaking is really concerning to me. It makes... The stuff that I'm seeing now is very heavy, and I don't normally talk about stuff like this really so much within my readings, but I'm going to say it because it's what I'm being shown. I think they have a binding on them from a third party. I think there's a third party that has interfered with their energy. And I've got a funny feeling that they might have done a binding on them, which is why the second we've tried to connect to their energy, there's been an explosion. But they are aware, in fact, they are aware of the connection with you. They feel it so heavily. And they're sat reminiscing about you. Oh, God. Where's my little pink deck? I don't even have it out because I wasn't even planning on getting it out for this. But this has that love spell card in there. I've got a feeling that someone's doing energetic work on them, but it's this other person. Is that energetic work binding that's been placed onto this masculine by a third party? mean, I don't, the confession on the bottom of the deck. I don't have that love spell card yet, but these, just having these rings here, it's like there's three people intertwined here. And it's creating challenges. So it's like where things were potentially getting more serious between you and this other person, that they've inserted themselves into the mix. But I think it's energetically. Hang on, I've dropped that card. I think it's energetically, but it's not coming. I mean, oh, there's the confession. It's not coming out yet. Maybe there are. I mean, it's not coming out. Oh, that's too many. It's not coming out. Maybe it's not an actual, maybe it's because it's not as severe as a binding. Maybe it's just showing to me as a binding. But it might be that they have a trauma bond or something like that with that person, rather than an actual... Oh, too many. Rather than an actual binding. Yeah, it's not coming out. Interesting. I'm just going to check this little deck that I've got over here. Now, this isn't a proper deck that I've got, because it's one that I made for myself when I was trying to check some stuff. But there is a literal card in this that says binding. And I'm just going to check just really quickly, because I don't know, I've got a weird feeling that someone's energetically working. Oh. Oh, there's too many cards coming out. Again, energy drain, soul teacher. Unfinished contracts. They may have some kind of unfinished contract, a cycle that they're meant to be closing out with this person. Because at the moment it's like their soul isn't free. It's like there's karmic debt to be paid back. I can't quite work this out. Again, it's not coming out. So maybe I'm mistaken on that. Maybe there is no binding, but they are energetically entangled with some kind of... Again, I'm feeling that pain in my stomach here. There's something that's blocking here. Sorry, I know I'm jumping about. It's because I'm trying to figure out what this is. There's something about this third party, and that they've pulled them away from you somehow, and that's what the confession is about. It's like whatever they did, sacral, that's what I'm feeling. There's a block in the sacral. It's about your intentions and your desires. There's something that they've... Because I can see this third party and I can see them smirking. There's something that they have done to pull this person away from you. Now, let's be serious. This whole thing is divinely guided. So it was always meant to play out in that way. But there's something that this third party has done that's pulled this person from you that they've become aware of, which is why now I think they're sat reminiscing, they're sat in this pain, thinking about the connection that you had, that you're potentially twin flames, soulmates, that there's this deep soul connection. And it's like the other party is like, this is similar to the reading I did the other day, where I could see the person smirking, where they'd led this person down the garden path. With the heart chakra. So we've got sacral chakra, throat and heart chakra here. So they're all linking in with the intentions and desires. The throat chakra block is coming because they want to communicate, but they don't feel like they can speak up at the moment. Again, the heart chakra is going to be blocked because of this scenario and the pain that they're now sat in. But it feels to me like this person, this third party, is directly linked to their energy for some reason. Where are my black cards? And their energy is obviously having an impact, which is why that jar came crashing down. Tell me about this, about the connection and the third party, please. I need to know about this third party. So when you first got together with this person, you guys, I think you were so happy. It was like you're sat in paradise. And it was a healing situation for you. I think you felt like this was going to be a connection that was going to heal you from previous negative situations.